Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Wednesday, the 25th of July. Almost the end of the month, guys. And almost the end of summer. Hopefully, you've stayed busy. So, I thought we'd talk about, how my day went yesterday. I mean, it was hilarious. Maybe not to some other people that were involved, but to me, I find hilarious in just about anything. Kind of like that yin yang theory that I try to find the good, and the yang is kind of being the pessimistic. Because, it's easier to be pessimistic than it is to be, you know, happy and finding the brighter things in life. So stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back. Yes, it is. It's the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Wednesday, and it's the 25th of July. So, what do I want to talk about today? Well, I want to talk about the adventures that we had yesterday. I mean, it's always an adventure when Claude and I are involved. It just, nothing goes according to plan. When we started out, in the morning, trying to find this guy's address. And we had to pick his John Deere lawnmower up. And I knew he lived on the river, St. Lawrence River. And I punched into Google Riverside, or River Drive, I think it was. And Google automatically took it to Riverside Drive Machine, which is the actual Grass River instead of the St. Lawrence. So, about 40 minutes into our trip, I'm telling Claude, look, the GPS is taking us somewhere wrong. It's taking us away from the St. Lawrence. I said, I know just about where we're supposed to be, and this is not it. And of course, my navigational system does not like to work when the truck is moving. And my fingers don't work well when the truck is moving. So I try to get Claude to pull over so I can punch the numbers in and do it directly instead of having it sent through my phone, through my Android, through the... Oh, it's supposed to make your life easier. So he pulls over and I punch it in. And sure enough, we're headed in the opposite direction. We got to be headed, towards Canada instead of, wherever. So I get it punched in, and the sun is out, it's beautiful, they're calling for thunder showers. And I'm telling Claude, all through the trip, we should have been cutting hay down. We should have cut hay down yesterday and baled it today. It's going to rain. I said, I understand that, but we could have had hay done, more hay. So we get over to the guy's camp on the St. Lawrence. Beautiful location. And beautiful John Deere. Not very old either. Drive it up and put it onto the trailer. And I told Claude asked me, "So you sure we have the right address?" Because we have been known in the past to go to the wrong place and pick up somebody else's lawnmowers and bring them back to the shop, and they think somebody stole their lawnmowers while they were at work. Claude looks like a thief, not me. So, it's easy for us to be, pigeonholed into thinking that we're thieves. And we all had a good laugh out of that. That was like 4 or 5 years ago, and I gave the the person that we stole their lawnmowers. I did a free service on both of them. And we all laughed. Even the cops. Alright, so we get the lawnmower on and we get headed back out of Bentonville, right? Back to the shop. We unload it. And I got a call from Tractor Supply before I left that they had like 6 units. 3 0-turns, 1 wood splitter, 1 wood chipper to have us get running. And see, the deal is, Tractor Supply, if any of you admin people are watching my videos, which you probably aren't going to waste your time watching my videos, is you're screwing yourself. I know the customer is always right. No, they aren't. And why you keep thinking that way is crazy. I'll give you a rundown. Wood splitter will not turn over. Okay. Wood chipper, same deal. Motor seized. I don't think either one of them are seized, and I think I know what the issue is, but we'll keep going. First 0-turn says electrical issues. We put the jump pack onto that unit, and come to find out, this is where the yin and yang, right? Come to find out, I had left the good jump pack still on, plugged in, and the one in my truck been there for 2 weeks. Used often. Say no more. Of course, click, 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 click. So we've got the wood chipper and the wood splitter loaded, and we couldn't have fit 3 0-turns on if we wanted to with them other things, right? So I told Claude, I said, let's strap it down. We'll run back to the shop. I'll grab the good one. It's about, a half-hour turnaround to get there and back, from the shop. And we'll get them. And it takes to raining while we're loading the 2 things. And then it's like the act of God. The monsoon hits. And I don't know if Claude doesn't know, or maybe he does know, that I can hear him when he's mumbling. And he's mumbling, "You're not paying me enough to work in the frickin' rain. This is ridiculous." I mean, just give him a raise. He's up to 75 cents an hour. I don't know what the hell he's bitching about. So I drive like a crazy man, all the way back to the shop. Hydroplaning, supposed to be safety first, but we're trying to get back, get those 2 unloaded, grab the fresh jump pack, come back. I grabbed a fresh can of carb cleaner to make sure we could get them started. And we get back, and the Cub Cadet is the first one, electrical problems. Put the jump pack on it, starts right up, but you can tell it's flooding the piss out of it. So there's something wrong with the throttle, the choke. The choke is stuck about closed almost. You can smell it. But I can drive that onto the trailer. The second one is a Toro time cutter. Beautiful machine. They couldn't find the key. Well, come to find out, they found the key while we were gone. So I went in and they gave me the book and the key on it. Put the key in it, started right up. Oh, jump back, no nothing. So that left us with the bad boy, zero turn, with two front flat tires. And he was trying to start it, and the sun was out again, and it was starting to get dark. And I'm starting to make a correlation between Claude's mood and the weather. Maybe he has a way of, like the act of God, to call the weather, this stormy weather. But I'm telling him, I was like, look, let's just get moving. We'll tie it to, this is a bigger machine I'm on, the time cutter. Let's just strap it close together, and we will pull it and rip onto the trailer. And then we'll shut the gate. So I backed up, and instead of hooking somewhere dead center of that machine, Claude decides to hook to the right side. Well, you hook it to one side, it's not going to be a straight pull, and then front tires are going to be going all over the place. They're going to go this way, and then that way, and then. And he's getting frustrated with me because I can't seem to get it through the aisle, past the gates, and all the other crap they had in there. And the aisles are pretty thin anyways out in the chained area. So he gets pissed. I said, well, you got two choices. You can either hook the machine up straight or hop on. Knock yourself out. Because when he gets upset, he gets funny. So he kept zigging and zagging and unnecessary, but we watched. And he got to the trailer. Well, the wheels were way off. They were not lined up straight for him. So I got the tires lined up, pushed it around so it's straight. He got about 3/4 the way up with the bad boy behind him, and he got up onto the trailer, and the trailer was wet, and there she started spinning. So then we had to, I got the blades or the deck got caught in the deck or in the trailer, so it made it even worse. So we had to get off and lift, him and I, and Chase, the guy that was there, and my grandson Connor that was with us for the day. But by the time we get it loaded and the gate shut, it quits raining. The sun comes out. Like that. And clouds part. The sun comes out. It starts to get hot again. Claude's like, see, if we would have waited just a while longer, we wouldn't have been out in the rain. But we weren't in the rain. It was still dark, but it had lightened up quite a bit. And it started sprinkling again when we hooked onto that bad boy. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit because before we went to Track Supply to pick up their stuff for the trailer, we decided that because we had to use a small trailer to go one direction to pick up one customer's John Deere, that morning. And then I had to drop that trailer, switch balls, and hook on to the tandem axle because we knew we were going to have more units going on that trailer. And it'd be lucky if you could fit, one zero turn and maybe the whisk splitter on the small trailer. So the idea was, let's take and hop on the buggy, my Polaris Ranger, and we'll go over back, and Claude and I each drive up one of the tractors that have the balers behind it, because I have 2 round balers, and Connor following up behind with the buggy, my grandson. So we get those 2 up, and I get my baler unhooked. Claude gets his baler unhooked, and we've got one tractor broke down over there that we don't dare start because it's a hydraulic issue, blowing hydraulic, that he wants to tow that up and down to the shop. So they take off on a tractor to go get the other one. So I take, and there's a boat in my way out behind the garage. So I moved that, put that up behind over back, and get the big trailer hooked on. And as I'm hooking the big trailer on, I'm looking, and here comes this dark, dark storm cloud. I'm thinking, this is not good. The sun was just out. So I need to put the spear on the other tractor, the 2240. So I put the spear onto that and strapped that in. And now it's starting to sprinkle. So I hopped on the tractor, or on the truck with the trailer hooked behind it, the tandem, and I headed up to, it's about a half mile up to where the old farmhouse used to be. And that's where they're going to come out and hit the road. So I figure if I can get up to there and stop them, they can hop off and shut the tractors down there at the old farmhouse and just hop in the truck and not get wet. Well, halfway in between, here they come. And I'll tell you, torrential downpour. They are getting their asses soaked. And he don't look happy. Connor's just a waving. I mean, I tried explaining to him, you got to take advantage of these things. It's kind of like taking a shower without the bar of soap. It still is cleansing. So getting back to, so that was how our day had progressed, that yin and yang. So I'll tell you what I think's going on with each unit, and then maybe we'll do a video on each unit today or tomorrow. But I think the wood splitter, I've seen where they've left the lever in gear, where it's not centered, and when you leave it in one position or the other, you're pulling directly against the pump, and you're not going to turn it over until you release it to where it free spools. So there's the wood splitter, I think, hopefully. Let's jump to the wood chipper. The problem is with these wood chippers, they are not made to sit outside or be left outside and then taken inside, because what does metal do? It rusts. And when you're pulling over a wood chipper by hand, you're turning a certain amount of those, flails as you're doing it. And there's either something caught in there from the last time you used it, or she's rusted herself in, and you need to break it apart and then get it started and let it just run, and then spray it with some PB Blaster and then some fluid film after you got it running good and you don't have any noises, so that it keeps it from rusting. So there's two. The Cub Cadet. The biggest problem it's got is when you put it, because it's got a hand choke, so you go all the way up with the throttle, and the choke is not disengaging. So I don't know whether the wire is, the choke is shut and the wire isn't, the screw isn't tight on it, so that it pushes the choke off, what have you. But again, doesn't sound like it's a big job, right? Time cutter. The blade and the bolt fell off. The blade fell off. Did you hear me? The blade fell off on a brand new time cutter machine. And nobody knew how to put the blade back on, put the nut back on. That's it. Make sure that the fins are facing up. Take your nut, tighten it on, and then with us we hit it with the impact. But the bigger question is how can a blade fall off a mower? So we'll have to research that a little bit more. I don't know whether maybe the spindle quit working, broke. I don't know. And the bad boy they have down as starter issues. Well, the problem is it's got two front flat tires. I checked the air filter so I can spray carb cleaner in it, and the pre-filter is just loaded with crap. And I'm looking, it's got 25 hours on it. Claude was commenting with his yard. His John Deere is 3 years old. It's got 23 hours on it. How long did this customer have this unit? And then why did you take it back after 2 to 3 years? They sure in heck didn't just buy it yesterday and have problems. But it's clicking on the solenoid. You can cross the solenoid and start it. But it's a solenoid issue. Solenoid or key switch, but good chance it's solenoid. Two front tires, they're the hard rubber. We'll put some air in it, hope it holds. If not, just get a new tire. New solenoid. And question why they took that back. It's got to be a couple years old anyways. So that was the adventures of yesterday. And of course we get back to the shop and the sun comes back out again. Coming back out again at our supply after we get the last zero turn onto the trailer. But you got a choice in life. You can either try to find the good, the positive things, or you can be pessimistic about everything. The easy way out is to be pessimistic, because it doesn't require much energy to complain about everything, right? It's harder to try to stay upbeat and look at the good things that are going on, the funny things that are going on. You know, Claude and I are looking at the same movie playing out, right? With totally different perspectives. And if you get anything from this video other than a couple good laughs, is it requires a little more to see the finer things in life. But I tell you right now, the dividends pay off well when you do. Because you're not that bitchy old person that nobody wants to listen to. No matter what goes on, you knew it was going to be that way, blah, 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 blah. And people get tired of hearing it. You know, can't you be happy about anything? But the moral of the story of the whole video is make sure you go to the right address so that you don't steal somebody else's lawnmower during the day while they're at work and get the cops involved. On that note, you guys have a great Wednesday. And we'll catch you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for watching.